Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. So we got the news about Kayvon Thibodeau. And I'm not surprised. Not surprised one bit. When Brian Dable is at that podium and he says day to day, you know it's week to week. And when he says week to week, I said it before, he doesn't know when that guy's coming back. And that's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much what it is, and we saw that it was announced today that the New York Giants placed Kayvon Thibodeau on IR, so we won't see Kayvon Thibodeau for at least 4 weeks. For at least 4 weeks. But you know what? The Giants never make it easy. We don't ask for it to be. Actually, I do ask for it to be easier than what it's been. But we already know what it is when it comes to the New York Giants. And at the most important times, there's always some type of barrier in the way. The New York Giants are 2-3 going back home, back to MetLife. We have no touchdowns at our home stadium this year. That needs to change first off. We got the Cincinnati Bengals. They are 1-4. 1-4. They're on the brink right now of destruction. That's a little drastic, right? A little bit drastic. But no, for real, this is a gotta-have-it game for both of these teams. I saw a post from the Cincinnati Bengals or that the Cincinnati Bengals shared, and it was just a drawing of a tiger wearing the crown of the Statue of Liberty and chewing on a Giants helmet. That's the type of energy that the Cincinnati Bengals have right now for the New York Giants. They think they're going to come into MetLife and wreck everything. Well, you know what? As a New York Giants fan, I find it disrespectful. And I ask you guys, have you ever seen a tiger choke on an apple? Because we're going to see a tiger choke on an apple tomorrow. Shout out to the New York Giants, man. Shout out to the New York Giants. But let's talk about it a little bit. Who needs to step up? In my opinion, with Kayvon Thibodeau out for a few weeks now, Azeez Ojulari is on the clock. Time to clock in Azeez Ojulari. And he's done fine this year in a rotational role. But we already know for right now, Azeez Ojulari knows right now he has 4 weeks, at least 4 weeks, where he's going to be the guy on the other side of Brian Burns. He is going to be the guy that the New York Giants coaching staff and the fans are going to be calling on to get the job done while Kayvon Thibodeau is going. And guess what, though? For Azeez Ojulari in a contract year, he has 4 games. 4 games to do a few different things. To play well, earn a contract with the New York Giants, to play very well, put other teams on notice in case we don't sign him or we can't afford to sign him. His bag is on the line, pretty much. Azeez Ojulari's bag in the next 4 weeks, he can either make a lot of money in these next 4 weeks, or he can stay the same, or he can lose money. And here's the thing. I want to bring Azeez Ojulari back. I know that the number might not be something that we can afford, but at the end of the day, I'm not worried about 2025. I'm worried about Azeez Ojulari this year and what he does with the team this year, and he needs to get pressure starting tomorrow on Joe Burrow. Impact the game. You want the bag? Impact the game starting tomorrow. You have 4 weeks. A lot of guys don't get this type of opportunity in the contract year when they're not a starter to end up walking into some games and being able to, add some zeros to the contract that they have. Add some numbers to the contract that they have. And I think that's one way you can get motivated if you're Azeez Ojulari. But the other way is, again, these are your brothers. This is the team that drafted you. You didn't play as well. You dealt with injuries. People started to lose some faith in you. We went and signed Brian Burns and gave him a whole lot of money because we didn't feel confident in what Azeez Ojulari could do. Now you have a chance to do a few things. You can either prove a lot of us wrong, depending on what your mind, how you think about it. Depending on how Azeez is thinking about things, he could be thinking about the bag. He could be thinking about, I'm going to play well and show people that I was the guy that everybody expected me to be. But for me as a fan, I don't care. I just want you to go out there and play well and win the New York, or help the Giants win. That's it. That's it for me. I don't care about anything else when it comes to this situation. Help the New York Giants win starting tomorrow by getting pressure on Joe Burrow. That's it. That's it. And guess what? I think Azeez Ojulari can do that. We saw him in flashes this year, make some plays, passing game, running game, set the edge a little bit. That's not his strong suit, but he did. He had a little minor impacts here and there playing his role. Now his role is increased. What are you going to do with it? That's one of the main things about this whole situation as far as Kayvon Thibodeau goes. 4 weeks at minimum. Azeez Ojulari gets to show what he can do in those 4 weeks in a starting role. He wouldn't have had this chance if Kayvon Thibodeau didn't get hurt, or if Brian, any of the edge guys, if they went down, he wouldn't have this opportunity. The other thing is Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers out with the concussion. Couldn't go this week either. A little more surprised at that, because you figure that it's going to be a full 17 days. Half a month. And then when you talk about next week against Philly, which I think that's when he's going to make his return in the Philly game at home, in a glorious return that should be too, against Philadelphia. I love it. But a lot of people are mad, for certain situations. He went to a concert. They're mad that he shouldn't be in those type of environments with a concussion. But here's the thing: if he can't make it through a concert, for sure he can't make it to through a game. It just is what it is. So for a lot of people that are mad at him, I mean, it is what it is. Slow down, pump the brakes. You don't like nice things. Stop trying to control things you can't control and state a lot of opinions that a lot of people really don't care about. But you're free to have that opinion. Me, I don't care as much. Let him get completely healthy, and I can't wait for him to come back against the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what I'm calling right now. I think he gets cleared, early next week, probably by Wednesday, and everybody knows he's going to be playing. The punter, I saw that the punter got hurt, hamstring, I think it was. When did that happen? How did that happen? Was it practice? I don't know. That's something that I'm going to keep my eye out on. I haven't seen too much news about us bringing in another guy. We'll see what happens with that. But if anything, hopefully, Brian Daboll has learned from, earlier situation with Graham Gano. And I say Graham's, I put an S on Graham Gano's name. I don't know why I do it. That's just me, and I can't. It's like a mental block. But let's talk about these keys to victory very, very quickly. It's going to be the same thing that I say all the time. You got to be able to run the ball and stop the run. Explosive offense of the Cincinnati Bengals. They can put up points quickly. So how do you counter that? By keeping them on the sideline. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Long, sustaining drives for the offense. Being able to successfully run the ball and keep that clock running. That's one of the ways that you beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Keep that explosive offense off of the field. That's key. That's key. Outside of that, when that offense is on the field, Shane Bowen has to be aggressive in the play calling. Period. If you can't get the pressure with the 4, send the 5 and send the 6. It's just simple math to me. We cannot sit back in a soft shell, allow things in front of us, because you know what? Joe Burrow is going to do that. He's one of the best in pre-snap, post-snap in the league. One of the best quarterbacks out there when it comes to that category. You can't give him time to dink and dunk, because he will absolutely execute. You have to get pressure. The New York Giants, when you look at the roster, is built on getting pressure to the quarterback and getting that pressure quickly. You got speed rushers. Even with Kayvon Thibodeau out, Azeez Ojulari is also a speed rusher. These guys can get to the quarterback quickly. Dexter Lawrence clogging up the middle. Who's going to step up next to Dexter Lawrence? That's another question. We saw probably one of the most complete games last week for the New York Giants defense. For the New York Giants, period. We have to continue and build off of that. And the Cincinnati Bengals is one of those teams. Again, their record is 1-4. Do I believe they're a 1-4 team? I don't believe that. I think they're better than what their record is. We've watched these games and we've seen these guys play better than what their record is. Things just have not gone their way. Giants, don't allow them to get their swagger back against us. We've done that for years and years and years. You get a team that's coming in on the low, on the ropes, and we just let them get their swagger back. We cannot allow the Bengals to get their swagger back. But guess what? Not only that. Think about this home fan base. Think about what you've provided the last 2 home games of the season. We've only been at home twice this year so far. and the performances have not been up to snuff. No touchdowns being scored. It is crazy. So let's start off small, right? Let's start off small for the New York Giants tomorrow against the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's get our first home touchdown of the season. Let's do that, and let's do that on our first possession. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then when we turn around and punt and kick that ball off to the Cincinnati Bengals, let's go 3 and out and get this offense the ball again. And do what? Turn around and turn another drive into touchdowns, because field goals will not get it this week at all. At all. They're not going to work. The play calling has to be aggressive on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And for Brian Dable, the red zone play calling has to be better as well. Because if the New York Giants can get better in the red zone, you might see us average about 24 to 28 points a game. And I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. As many times as we settle for field goals, if we can turn that into touchdowns with more aggressive play calling, or just better play calling in the red zone, or like Tom Coughlin would call it, the green zone, let's go ahead and score some points. Let's go ahead and score some touchdowns. That's the keys to victory there. Don't settle for field goals. Run the ball, stop the run, be aggressive on defense, send 5, send 6 when you have to, sustain long drives on offense. That's my keys to victory right there. That's it. I wish I had something else to tell you guys. But you know what? Tonight we going live still for the late night Giants talk. Hopefully you guys can see me there. Can't wait to talk about this game a little bit more. Can't wait to see and read what people are thinking about as well. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time tonight. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And for one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.